Cooper Flagg hype appears to be real, Big Bet Bennett.
What's going on with him?
Okay, he is the 17-year-old phenom. He's been on the national radar for years now. He's a young man from Maine, a 6'9" forward who has been described as a generational talent, again, for years now. He's going to Duke. He signed with John Shire, and he was invited by USA Basketball to come out to Las Vegas and just work out, train with the Olympic team and the select team. The idea being that, hey, one day, in theory, you're going to be a part of this. So we would like for you to go ahead and have your first, time through it be with LeBron James, with Steph Curry, with Kevin Durant. You can sort of see the way they operate on a day-to-day basis, see what excellence looks like, so that when you are of proper age and ability to represent our country and the international stage, then you've got this experience underneath your belt. He has said he did not expect to get invited to this. Obviously, recent high school graduates don't normally get invited to stuff like this, but he's such a unique talent. They brought him out. And he got into a scrimmage yesterday against the Olympic team. He's playing with the select team. And the select team, I should be clear, it's younger players mostly, but legitimate NBA players, like guys who are already in the league. In other words, it was Cooper Flagg and a bunch of NBA players in a gym yesterday. And, if we open the show by talking about how Zach Edey looked incredibly comfortable on the court last night in Salt Lake City, same thing true for Cooper Flagg. You take him, you put him against men who are, in some cases, you ready for this, more than twice his age, who are more physically mature, who are future Hall of Famers, current MVPs, all of it. And he looked great. He was described by some as the best player, not in the gym, because LeBron's in the gym.
Sure. Steph Curry's in there. Yeah, right.
But he was the best player on his team, and his team had other NBA players.
How about that?
We did a mailbag episode, Eye on College Basketball podcast yesterday, and one of the questions from somebody was, why do I have Duke lower than, say, the betting markets have Duke? Because they have the number one player in the country. They have more likely NBA first-round picks than anybody else. But I've got them ninth in the top 25 and 1. They got the third best odds to win the national championship behind only UConn and Kansas. So if you were going by the betting markets, you should have Duke ranked third. I have Duke ninth. The question was why? And I prefaced it by saying, you know what? I might be low on them. I admit it. I might be low on them because as I'm going through and working on a 2025 mock draft, it becomes pretty clear pretty quickly. They got more talent than anybody else. They just do. They might not have better college players than everybody else, and they're younger than most, but they have more talent than anybody else in college basketball. So I prefaced everything by saying I might just be low on them. I might just be wrong. It's happened. But my main level of concern is that you were asking, if you think Duke's going to win the national championship, what you're saying is that a 17-year-old is going to lead a team to a national championship in this era of college basketball where things are getting harder for young teams. Even John Calipari, Mr. One and Done, said as recently as last week, I don't think you can win with freshmen anymore. And a week later, we're going, well, Duke's about to try it. And so that's why I'm skeptical. I mean, I've got them in the top 10. I think they're going to be good. But why am I lower than, say, the betting markets? Because my concern is that can a 17-year-old really be the best player in college basketball? He doesn't turn 18 until December. And I will just say, bad day to say that on a podcast because he immediately went out and looked like, yeah, he's going to be the best player in college basketball.
Damn.
I mean, if he's the best player on his team in that gym, then that's going to make him the best player in college basketball. He looked comfortable. He looked the part. He looked amazing. And the confidence you get from doing that if you're him, I think he surprised himself a little bit. He said that, or at least implied it. I believe in myself, but did I know I would do this? No, I didn't know I'd come out here and he was quite literally just pulling up in Anthony Davis' face, knocking down threes, getting to the rim, dunking. NBA players, Hall of Famers in the gym. Incredible. He'll be the star of college basketball, whether you like it or not. The number one player in the country who is going to be the number one pick in the draft is going to be at Duke. Front and center in your face from November, maybe through April. And, I could go into the top 25 and win a day and just based off of what Cooper Flagg has done in Las Vegas, rationalize, justify moving the Blue Devils up to wherever I want to move them. I don't know that I will, but I could. He looks the part in the Cooper Flagg hype that's been building for years. It probably reached a new level yesterday. It's one thing to watch him overwhelm high school players, even the best in the country, over and over again. But when you get in the gym and do that at 17 against NBA players.
The Gary Parrish Show, live weekdays at 10 a.m.